The Home Office may be planning to make it more difficult for graduates to stay back in the UK after they complete their studies. This is one of their plans towards reducing net migration into the UK. I felt it's so important for me to share the exact proposal of this particular law with you so that you can know what is happening in the UK. If you are someone who wants to come into the UK to study, or perhaps you are already in the study route and you want to switch to a graduate visa, that's the post-study work visa, then you need to watch this video till the end, because I'm going to share what has been reported by the Times with you. I feel it's so important for us to be updated on what is happening in the corridors of power, because these things affect us. You don't want to just experience such a thing suddenly. So I will make some suggestions on what you need to do if you are in this particular situation. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you'll be amongst the first people to see that video. Thank you so much, my returning subscribers. You guys are amazing. And if you need support getting a visa sponsorship job, perhaps you need someone that would help you to write an outstanding CV, a fantastic cover letter, or a compelling NHS supporting information, then reach out to me. I'm just a DM away. You can reach out to me through the Facebook link or in the comments or in the description. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. For most of you who don't know much about the graduate visa route, it is a particular route that helps people who have successfully completed their studies in the UK to work in the UK for 2 to 3 years. If it's a master's, you can stay for 2 years in the UK. If it's a PhD, then you can stay for 3 years in the UK. During this period, you don't need a certificate of sponsorship. You can easily switch from your study visa to the graduate visa. So it's one particular pathway that is very appealing to people who want to study in the UK. If they pursue their studies, they might consider, staying back, and it might take a while for them to get used to the work culture or get a visa sponsorship job so that they can switch to a skilled worker visa. So that graduate route has been one source of attraction, and the UK knows that it is just one path that they can use to control net migration. If you check, it was introduced in July 2021. However, it used to be post-study work visa and they stopped it in 2012. So it is just one route that can control the number of people coming to the UK. Now, we already know that they stopped master students from bringing their dependents into the UK, and that actually affected the number of people who enrolled for studies in UK universities. It reduced it by 11 to 13%. The Home Office is proposing to put this law that if you're a student, you must secure a graduate level job first before you can switch to the graduate visa route. This particular proposal is going to be a really tough one because it's going to further reduce the number of international students who want to apply to the UK or choose the UK as their destination for studies. One thing about this particular pathway is that they have not stated clearly all the laws or all the things that are required to be able to achieve this. You know how it is with proposals. Most of these laws are proposals first before they get implemented. Sometimes they see the light of the day, sometimes they don't see the light of the day. Remember that last year, the UK government told MAC, that's the Migration Advisory Committee, to look into the graduate route and see if it is being abused. And MAC submitted a report last year saying that the graduate visa route is okay, that is being reviewed, that it's not being abused, and they feel that they should not change it because it's going to affect the number of people coming to the UK. But despite that particular report by MAC, the UK government have always put this graduate visa as something that they can, use to reduce net migration further. This has always been their plan. So this proposal is not coming as a shock to me because I feel like the numbers have dropped and the UK government is still looking for ways to reduce the numbers. It is now left for the different stages involved in proposals to actually make this thing happen or not happen. Remember that the UK always carries out research. They see the impact financially or when it comes to getting the skilled labor they are interested in, or other policies. They check all these things before they implement a law. I know that there are some laws that have been implemented this year that it did not take a long time for them to implement. For example, when they said that they will no longer issue citizenship to people who come in through the boats, small boats. And there is this one when they increased the visa fees. It was just a few weeks or so, and they just took it up. I know there are some laws that they just introduced suddenly, but when it comes to something as sensitive as this, based on my experience, it takes a while for them to debate it. So this is a proposal that the Times have published, and right now what is happening is that the UK government has made a response to the Times when the Times asked them, what's up with this particular law? Are you going to implement it? So they have said this. So when asked about the proposed changes by the Times in their report, the Home Office said, our upcoming immigration white paper will set out a comprehensive plan to restore order to our broken immigration system, linking immigration, skills, and visa systems to grow our domestic workforce and reliance on overseas labor and boost economic growth. We are not getting into a running commentary on what will be contained in the white paper. So hopefully when they release the white paper that comes out around June, thereabouts this year, we'll find out clearly exactly how they want to implement this. Remember that if you want to switch from a study visa to a graduate visa, you don't need a COS, you don't need evidence that you are being employed by a particular organization. And the graduate level jobs is so difficult to do. Graduate level jobs means that you cannot even present that of McDonald's, maybe if you're working in McDonald's, or maybe a cleaner or something like that. And when they say graduate level jobs, is it the one that is in line with what you studied in the university, or any graduate level jobs? Remember that if you graduate from law, you can be a business analyst, in the UK. So what do they mean? And what document do you need to include in your visa application for that to be valid? Because what is the difference between switching to a graduate visa and switching to a skilled worker visa? Remember that a skilled worker visa, you need a COS and a company that is willing to sponsor you. So with this particular graduate level job, what does it mean? It's really confusing. Remember that the graduate visa route does not add towards your application for ILR if you're going through the 5-year pathway. If you are going for the 10 years pathway to ILR, then it can contribute towards your stay in the UK. When you switch to a skilled worker visa, it is 5 years in that skilled worker visa combined with some other visas like the global talent visa, scale up visa. That is what would add towards your 5 years in the UK. So guys, what are your thoughts based on this? I feel the Home Office should be looking at these YouTube channels to see our opinion based on this, because I feel the universities are suffering already. There is a lot of problems out there when it comes to sacking staff. Some campuses are being shut down because their finances are being impacted. I told you that a huge aspect of the funding that comes to university come from international students. If you work in a university or you're a student in the university, you know what I'm talking about. I work in a university, so I will tell you that a huge aspect of the funding from universities come from international students. International students are willing to pay, while when it comes to home students, they take a loan. And apart from that, there is a deficit which the international students actually compensate for, that deficit that is created by taking in home students. So what are your thoughts based on this? Do you think it is a good idea to introduce this graduate level job first before you can switch to a graduate visa? And sometimes I feel that this should be an indication that maybe you must not come into the UK to study. I've told many people that you don't really need to come into the UK to study. There are other destinations you can go to, especially if you don't have the right skills. You are to come into the UK when you have chosen the particular course you want to go into, and you are sure that that course is in high demand in the UK. 1, 2, you have some skills, because most employers in the UK concentrate more on the skills that you have to offer. Seriously, if you don't do your ROI, your return on investment, if you don't sit down and do a proper calculation of your ROI, your return on investment, for pursuing a study or a particular course or whatever in the UK, then anything you experience in the UK is your fault, because you were not prepared. You did not do your calculation. So guys, what do you think about this? And if you know of any other destination countries that people can explore for study that's affordable, that they can also settle and switch into indefinite leave to remain or permanent residency or whatever, just share it in the comment. Let all of us learn. These are difficult times. I feel we should prepare. And if you ask me, by the time they release whatever they release in June, if they approve it, when do you think this might be implemented? I know that most times when they introduce a new law, is always forward looking. That is, anybody that is going to apply from a certain date that they will propose will be affected. So I don't know whether it is anybody that is going to pursue their studies from a certain period, or it is anybody who wants to submit a post-study work visa from a particular day. I think it's most likely to be anybody who submits an application for a post-study work visa from a certain date will be affected. Guys, I'm just saying, based on UK laws, this might see the light of the day. On the other hand, it might never see the light of the day. They might change some things with regards to graduate visa. If they do an impact assessment and find out that it's going to further be a big blow to the universities in the UK. So what are your thoughts? Share it in the comments. Be respectful. See, we are all here to learn. We are not here to share bad news, but we are here to help everybody prepare appropriately for whatever it is that the UK government is going to change with respect to immigration rules or policies. I'll see you in my next video. Happy Easter. Bye-bye.